morning, my dear students. Today you are going to learn a IR and a UV lamp and its application. So, IR means infrared and UV means ultraviolet. So, infrared and ultraviolet lamp radiation have been used in a medical application for a physiotherapy treatment. So, this is called as a IR and UV lamp therapeutic equipments. So what all the application, we'll see that one by one, then you can understand what will be the topic you are going to learn it now. So here you are going to learn IR and UV lamp and its application. So IR is infrared radiation and UV means ultraviolet radiation, which is passed over the patients, those who want to take the therapeutic treatment. So this is and its application, it's vary from one incident to another one. So that will be discussed one by one. So before that we will discuss about what is the origin of these IR and UV light. Okay, so here we know that in sun it will provides a visible light to invisible light. So here the sunlight contains visible light to invisible light. So from we know that the visible light, it is having a 7 colors, that is a Vibgyor. So Vibgyor, we know that. Okay, so that means if that is everything is related with the wavelength. So if the that is from red to violet range of color can be identified with the help of our naked eye. So below the that means the wavelength is above red color, we are calling as a infrared, and the wavelength below the violet is called as a ultraviolet rays. So you are seeing that this side visible side, this side is a violet color. From that it has given ultraviolet, X-rays and gamma rays. Another this side is given infrared microwaves. So wavelength is very important for here. So infrared is wavelength in microns, that you are seeing in the diagram. So here what is given in the sunlight, sunlight is having the wavelength is that is from higher to lower level. So here infrared rays, they are putting into two kind of categories. One is a near infrared rays, that range is the wavelength is in microns from 0.2 to 2 micron. That wave is called as a near infrared, and medium is called 2 to 4 microns. So that is a two kind of infrared. One is a near infrared, another one is a far infrared rays. Two kind of things you have discussed here. So here you are going to discuss what is here infrared rays and ultraviolet rays, we are calling as electromagnetic waves. So that another these are all you are going to study now. And what is here, we know that infrared rays are an electromagnetic waves. So here these electromagnetic waves, it is lies between the visible light and microwaves. That is the infrared light rays having a visible light and microwaves. So here the wavelength is about 750 nanometer to 4 lakhs nanometer, that is okay. that you are given seeing here, 4 lakhs nanometer, and frequency range is from 4 into 10 power 14 hertz to 7.5 into 10 power 11 hertz. So this is the range of infrared rays. We will discuss one by one. So what you are going to learn, that we are going to discuss one by one here. So first we will discuss about the types of infrared radiation. So here infrared radiations are subdivided into, one is a types of wave, that is a types of wave, we can tell it as the first one is infrared A, that is IRA, that wavelength is 762,400 nanometer. So infrared B, that is IRB, is 1400 nanometer to 3000 nanometer, and IRC, that is wavelength is 3000 nanometer to 1 mm. Okay, and for former classification, now before they have classified that as a near or short IRR, that is a near infrared ray they are calling as, that wavelength is 760 to 1500 nanometer. Here that is far and or long IRR, that is infrared radiation or rays, that will be the wavelength will be the 1500 to 15,000 nanometer. Now we will discuss about types of lamp. So types of lamp you are going to discuss now. So first you are going to discuss this is the non-luminous generator. Okay, you can't see the visible light here. Okay, so these kind of rays they are calling as a non-luminous generators. It is a focus on the human body. So another one is a luminance generators. So you are seeing in the diagram B, it provides a luminance generator. So that it is both, or it is applied for what means providing the therapeutic treatment. So here the two types of infrared sources are used in physiotherapy practice. Mainly they are using in physiotherapy practice. So first we will discuss about what is the non-luminous generator, that we will discuss right now. So we are going to learn about the non-luminous generator that you are seeing in the diagram. So that means that is a luminance unable to see by the naked eye. So this is also known as a low temperature generator, also we can call it as, which produces only the infrared rays of wavelength 750 nanometer to 1500 nanometer. So here these generators are heated by the passage of electric current through a bar wire or some carbon, which is held in a non-conducting material like porcelain, that is mounted in the center of the parabolic reflectors. So this is highly used for injuries purpose, for injury or sedative effect of a non-luminous generator, which is may prove more useful in a medical field. So this is the application of a non-luminous generator. Now you are going to see about the luminous generator. So what is the luminous generator? You are going to see it now. So here the diagram is this one. So that is it provides a light. So light source is infrared light, which is falls on the human body. Okay. So here it is also we are calling as a high temperature generator. We are calling this as a high temperature generator because it emits visible rays and also ultraviolet rays. Both the rays have been emitted by these luminous generator. So and here the infrared rays of wavelength are this is we are calling as visible rays and ultraviolet rays. So infrared rays of wavelength are 350 nanometer to 4000 nanometer, and so in the form of a incandescent bulb, that is they are calling as this can be generated by incandescent bulb, they are calling as this is which is consist of a wire filament enclosed in a glass bulb, which may be contain a inert gas at low pressure. So you are seeing in the diagram. So here the filament is made up of tank, as it tolerates repeated heating and cooling. So the two purpose it have been used. So main application is for what we can means, it is for lesion of more chronic type pain or lesion. So the lesion can be easily eradicated with the help of these high temperature generator. So this effect of short rays or may be proved to be a value, it is one of the value. Under these circumstances a luminance generator is used. Now you are seeing the diagram that a lady is giving a luminous generator focus on the patient's body in order to relieve their pains. So that you are seeing here, and so we will see one by one what are the information here, what is the apparatus status, so how they are arranging the lamp and the patient, so what will be the instruction they have to follow it, so what is the termination, what is the dosage level, that and all you are going to learn now. First we will discuss about apparatus. Here this may be this device may be, that is device may be a luminous or a non-luminous generator. It will take some time to heat it. Okay, it is immediately won't give the heating, it will be taking some time. So they should be switched on before 5 to 10 minutes of treatment, okay, before. So and luminous generator needs no warm up time, no need of it, it can be switched on once the person is ready for the treatment. So here next, how the arrangement, say arrangement of the lamp and patient. So it expose the skin to the irradiated and cover or shield eye is very important. Okay, they have to cover, so irradiate skin or the eye must be fully covered. So then the lamp is positioned opposite to the treatment areas such that way rays strike the skin at the right angle, and set the lamp at the appropriate distance, which is usually 50.75 centimeter from the patient. So next one, so what is the instruction and warning must be followed by the physician. So the patient is warned that should experience comfortable warmth, and the patient should report the immediately if the eating becomes excessive. So more excessive means patient must tell from their mouth. Okay, and the patient should not touch any part of the lamp or to move the near to that area. These are all very important warning and instruction which must be followed by physician as well as patients. Next we are going to discuss about termination. So termination is this is on completion of a treatment. On completion of treatment we can say that here the skin should be checked carefully, and so on palpation, that is it may be feel middle or moderately warm, and a moderate erythema that should be evident. Okay. So after the extensive irradiation, the patient should not rise suddenly from the recumbent position or go out in the cold therapy. So immediately they should not move from that place to other cold place. So another one, dosage. So dosage is another that also very important for this treatment. So for acute case, irradiation with the infrared rays can be given for 10 to 15 minutes. That is only daily for 1 to 3 times as per requirement given by the physiotherapist. So for chronic cases, so up to 30 minutes can also be treated, or on alternate days can also provided for this dosage. Next we will discuss about absorption and penetration, intensity, wavelength and frequency of these function. First we will discuss absorption. So absorption of radiation on a human body, that is a very important one. This one is so here some radiation striking the surface of skin will be reduced, and some will penetrate, some will scattered, some will refracted, and ultimately some of the rays are absorbed. So this is, we know that. So close to 95% of radiation is applied perpendicular to the skin, is absorbed so by the water and proteins, or a strong absorption of infrared. So that infrared can be easily absorbed by water and protein. So any radiation entering into the skin depends upon the structure of the body and vascularity and pigmentation of the skin. So another one is the wavelength of radiation. These are all dependent quantity for the absorption. So next we are going to study the penetration. Next, after absorption, penetration is another important terms. So here the IR rays produced by the luminous generator can penetrate into the dermis. You are seeing in the diagram, dermis and epidermis. So that is. So here IR rays produced by non-luminous generator can penetrate the superficial dermis only. So that is the difference between a luminous generator and non-luminous generator. Okay. So another, the penetration of energy into a medium is depend upon, first one is the intensity. Penetration is depend upon intensity, that is the intensity of source of infrared. Second one is wavelength and frequency. Third one is angle at which the radiation, that means it tilt the surface. So that is that means the angle at which a radiation must be hit the surface. That is very important. Another one is coefficient of absorption of the material. These parameters are very important for applying the infrared radiation on a human body. Next we will see about another one, that is a laws regulating absorption of a radiation. Okay. So what are the law means? First law is absorption of radiation. Groth's Draper's law. Second one is law of inversion square. Third one is cosine law. Fourth one is Beer-Lambert law. Fifth one is Kirchhoff law. Sixth one is Wien's law. Seventh one is added switch principles. Eighth one is Stefan-Boltzmann law. So these are all important laws, you are observing it. Next we will discuss about physiological effects. So what is the physiological effects due to this treatment? so which increases the metabolic rate, and second one the cutaneous vasodilatation. Okay, that means vasolitations as sweating will be coming, and another one is simulating of thermal heat receptors will be increased due to this is the physical effects. Next one we are going to discuss the therapeutic uses. So what are the therapeutic uses? First one is a relief of pain, second one is a muscles relaxation, third one is a increased blood supply, fourth one is a increased in joint mobility, fifth one is acceleration of healing and repair. Next we are going to see that what are the dangers. So here you are seeing that the patients what are the dangers. So first in that one you have got, first one is burns you are seeing in the diagram 1, electric shock you are seeing in the diagram 2, and faintness or giddiness, headache, these are all you are seeing in diagram 3. So headache and gangrene also coming when heavy doses are given. So injury to the eyes, another one is dehydration. So these are all when this treatment is gone heavy dosage. So that is the dosage level of these radiation must be controlled. That is very important. So next we will see that techniques of application. So what is the technique of application? You are seeing the many patients are lying on the bed. So they are taking the treatment of IR and UV therapy, and the doctor is checking these patients. So that will be see that one. So here you are going to see the patient position, the patient in a suitable well supported position with the area to be treated exposed. Another one is explanation, to explain the nature and the effect of the treatment to the patient, so before giving treatment. Third one is examination, that is examine the skin to be treated and test the thermal sensation, and also check for the contradiction. So that is these are all parameters are very important. Okay. So next one we are going for application. So what are the application of these IR and UV lamp application is at the commencements of the treatment, intensity of radiation should be low, but after 5 to 10 minutes, that is after the vasodilatation, that means the strength of radiation can be increased. So second one is a physiotherapist should be near the patient throughout the treatment. Third one is sweating is encouraged during this treatment. Next you have what are the contradiction. So contradiction part is very important. What is the contradiction part? So who should not go for this kind of therapy? Very very important. So they should not they should avoid this therapy. The following pain they have, or following one if they having in their body, they should avoid these IR and UV lamp therapy. That is first one is defective atrial blood supply. Those who had, they should not go into this therapy. Hematose, that is those who have a head injury, they should not go for this treatment. And defective skin sensation, they should not go for this one. Over pelvic region during the pregnancy, they have to avoid it. Varicose vein, they have to avoid it. Known cases of tumor. Another one is directly over the eyes, it's not given. The patient who has consciousness is lowered, that also they have to avoid. And after deep X-ray and Gopal therapy, they also avoid this therapy. Another acute skin disease and like dermatitis or eczema, they have to avoid this treatment. So advanced cardiac disorder people also, they have to avoid this treatment. Patient who are in extreme of age, they also must avoid this treatment. Thank you very much for listening this class. I hope that you have learned about infrared and ultraviolet lamp therapy and its application. We will see you next class.